Malcolm Little's story began in Omaha, Nebraska, in 1925. His early life was marked by hardship and racial prejudice. His father, Earl, was a Baptist minister and an outspoken advocate for Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa movement. This activism made the family a target of white supremacist groups, casting a long shadow over their lives. Malcolm's childhood was marred by constant relocations due to threats and intimidation. The family's home was burned down when he was just 4 years old. Tragedy struck again in 1931 when his father died under suspicious circumstances, believed to have been murdered by white supremacists. The trauma of his father's death had a profound impact on the family. Malcolm's mother, Louise, struggled to cope. She was later committed to a mental institution, leaving her children to be separated and placed in foster care. Young Malcolm, bright and articulate, excelled in school. However, racism permeated his educational experience. Despite his academic prowess, a teacher discouraged his aspirations to become a lawyer, suggesting carpentry as a more suitable profession for a black man. This experience, along with the increasing hardships he faced, led him to drop out of school at the age of 15. Malcolm's life took a turn after he moved to Boston to live with his half-sister, Ella. He found himself drawn to the streets, engaging in petty crime and hustling to survive. The vibrant but unforgiving streets of Roxbury became his new school, teaching him lessons of survival and self-reliance. He adopted the nickname Detroit Red, a testament to his reddish hair, a marker of his complex racial heritage, and his growing alienation from mainstream society. Malcolm's life in Boston was a whirlwind of illegal activities, from drug dealing to gambling, further entrenching him in a life of crime. The consequences of his actions finally caught up with him in 1946, when he was arrested for burglary. At the age of 20, Malcolm Little's life seemed destined for a bleak trajectory. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, a sentence that would ultimately prove to be a turning point in his life. Prison, often a place of despair, became an unexpected crucible for Malcolm's transformation. He used his time in confinement to embark on a journey of self-education and spiritual awakening. Malcolm's brother, Reginald, introduced him to the teachings of the Nation of Islam, a black nationalist and religious movement that preached black self-reliance and spiritual redemption. Intrigued by their message, Malcolm delved into the Nation of Islam's teachings. He embraced their emphasis on black pride, self-sufficiency, and their condemnation of the systemic racism that plagued America. He immersed himself in reading, devouring books on history, philosophy, and religion, expanding his knowledge and refining his oratory skills. Malcolm's transformation was profound. He abandoned his former name, Little, which he saw as a slave name, and adopted the surname X. The X symbolized the unknown, the lost heritage of African slaves, and his newfound identity. Upon his release from prison in 1952, Malcolm X emerged as a fiery and charismatic minister in the Nation of Islam. His powerful oratory skills, honed during his years of self-education, captivated audiences. He spoke with a raw eloquence, articulating the frustrations and aspirations of black Americans who were tired of enduring segregation and discrimination. Malcolm X's message resonated deeply in black communities across America. He denounced the hypocrisy of a nation that preached equality while denying basic human rights to its black citizens. He challenged the non-violent approach advocated by civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., arguing that black people had the right to defend themselves against racial violence by any means necessary. His unwavering commitment to black empowerment and his willingness to challenge the status quo made him a controversial figure. Malcolm X became a powerful symbol of black resistance, a voice for the voiceless, and a beacon of hope for those seeking liberation. Section 5. Nation of Islam, a platform for change. Malcolm X's rise within the Nation of Islam was meteoric. He quickly rose through the ranks, establishing temples in various cities and attracting thousands of new converts to the movement. His charisma and his ability to connect with the anger and frustration of black Americans proved to be a potent force. He understood the power of media and used it effectively to spread the nation's message. Malcolm X played a pivotal role in founding the nation's newspaper, Muhammad Speaks, which provided a platform for their views and helped to disseminate their message to a wider audience. Under his leadership, the Nation of Islam grew exponentially, evolving from a small fringe group to a significant force in the fight for black liberation. Malcolm X's influence extended beyond the nation's membership. His powerful speeches and his unwavering stance against racial injustice had a profound impact on the burgeoning civil rights movement. Section 6. A Journey to Mecca, Transformation and Enlightenment. In 1964, Malcolm X embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca, a life-altering journey that led him to question his beliefs and embrace a more inclusive view of Islam. During his time in Mecca, he witnessed Muslims of all races and ethnicities worshiping together in unity and brotherhood. This experience challenged his previous beliefs about the inherent superiority of black people, a central tenet of the Nation of Islam's teachings. Malcolm X returned from Mecca a changed man. He adopted the name El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, reflecting his deeper understanding of Islam. He embraced a more universal interpretation of the faith, rejecting the Nation of Islam's racial separatism and advocating for interracial dialogue and understanding. This transformation put him at odds with the leadership of the Nation of Islam, particularly its leader, Elijah Muhammad. His growing disillusionment with the nation's teachings and his public criticism of Elijah Muhammad led to a bitter and public split. Section 7. Breaking Free. A New Path, a New Vision. After his break from the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X founded his own organizations, Muslim Mosque, Inc., and the Organization of Afro-American Unity, or OLAU. These organizations reflected his evolving views on race relations and his commitment to human rights. The OAU in particular marked a significant shift in Malcolm X's ideology. He moved away from his earlier stance on black separatism, advocating for black self-determination within the context of a broader struggle for human rights. He began to build bridges with progressive white activists and intellectuals, recognizing the need for collaboration in the fight against oppression. Malcolm X's vision extended beyond the borders of America. He traveled extensively throughout Africa, meeting with various heads of state and forging connections with the Pan-African movement. He believed in the power of unity and solidarity among people of African descent worldwide. Section 8. The Price of Truth, a Life Cut Short. Malcolm X's outspokenness and his growing influence made him a target. He received numerous death threats, and his home was firebombed. On February 21, 1965, while delivering a speech at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, New York City, Malcolm X was assassinated. 3 members of the Nation of Islam were convicted of his murder, highlighting the deep divisions and tensions that had arisen since his departure from the organization. His assassination sent shockwaves throughout the black community and the nation. Malcolm X's life, though tragically cut short, left an indelible mark on the fight for racial equality and social justice. His legacy continues to inspire generations of activists, scholars, and everyday people fighting for a more just and equitable world. Section 9. The Enduring Legacy of Malcolm X, Inspiration for Generations. Malcolm X's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He remains a controversial figure, often misunderstood and misrepresented. However, his impact on the civil rights movement and his contributions to black consciousness are undeniable. His unwavering commitment to black empowerment, his emphasis on self-reliance, and his willingness to challenge the status quo continue to resonate with people across the globe. Malcolm X's life and work have inspired countless individuals to fight for their rights, to embrace their heritage, and to challenge systems of oppression. His autobiography, The Autobiography of Malcolm X, co-authored with Alex Haley, has become a seminal work, read by millions and studied in classrooms worldwide. It offers a powerful and poignant account of his life, his transformation, and his enduring message of hope and resistance. Malcolm X's legacy is a testament to the power of one person's voice to inspire change. His life and work serve as a reminder that the fight for justice requires courage, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to equality for all.